Tonight, I'm telling you a story about a ship that should have never returned. A cruise vessel that vanished 15 years ago, with every single passenger lost. People say the ocean never forgets, but sometimes it gives back things it shouldn't. Our story begins on a quiet night in the North Atlantic. The sea was calm, sky completely dark, and 5 Marine officers were on routine patrol. Captain Harris, Blake, Mitchell, Connor, and Reeves. They were experienced men, the kind who didn't fear storms or darkness. But that night, something felt different. From their navigation deck, Reeves noticed a faint silhouette far in the distance. He wiped the fog from the glass, leaned forward, and froze. A massive cruise ship, pitch black, no lights, no radio signal, no movement, just drifting silently. Captain Harris narrowed his eyes. He knew every registered vessel in these waters, but this one wasn't supposed to exist. Still, duty was duty. The 5 officers boarded their small patrol boat and made their way toward the ghostly ship. When they climbed the rope ladder and stepped onto the deck, the first thing they noticed was the silence. Not the normal quiet you hear at sea. This silence felt heavy, unnatural, like something was holding its breath. They split up to investigate. Connor checked the cabins. Mitchell moved toward the ballroom. Reeves inspected the control deck. Blake walked toward the lower halls, and Captain Harris headed toward the main lounge. But within minutes, the ship swallowed all 5 of them. Connor's flashlight kept flickering as he searched the passenger rooms. Beds were made, suitcases open, clothes laid out, as if the passengers vanished. In the middle of living. He whispered, "Is anyone here?" No answer. When he stepped into the last cabin, the door slammed behind him. He turned, but nobody was there. He tried to open it again, locked. A shadow moved behind him, slow, deliberate, and Connor was never seen again. Mitchell entered the ballroom. A huge empty space with tables still set for dinner. Half-eaten plates, wine glasses tipped over, chairs slightly pulled back, like people got up in the middle of a celebration and didn't come back. As he walked through the center of the room, chandeliers above him began to sway, but there was no wind, not even a breeze. Mitchell's footsteps echoed, and then another pair of footsteps echoed behind him. He turned around, nothing. He ran toward the exit, but the doors slowly shut, trapping him inside. His final scream echoed through the hall. Reeves made his way into the captain's bridge. All the equipment was dead. Navigation systems frozen, buttons smashed, and on the floor, something written with trembling hand. "Don't listen to them, don't answer." Reeves bent down to read it again, and the chair behind him slowly turned on its own. He didn't get the chance to run. Blake entered the lower maintenance corridor, a narrow metal hallway. His voice shook as he called out for the others, but the corridor didn't answer. Instead, it expanded. The lights stretched. The hallway felt longer, deeper, like the ship itself was shifting. Blake's panicked footsteps faded, and then stopped. Captain Harris was the last man standing. He returned to the deck, only to realize he was completely alone. The patrol boat was gone, his men were gone, and the ship. The ship suddenly didn't look abandoned anymore. Lights flickered on for a split second, revealing silhouettes of passengers standing in the corridors, staring directly at him. When the lights went out, Harris screamed. By sunrise, the ship had vanished again, and the officers were declared missing. 2 weeks later, 5 friends, Ethan, Lucas, Maya, Ryan, and Jordan, went on a sea trip. They weren't sailors. They weren't explorers. They were just looking for fun. But they accidentally entered the same region where the lost ship reappeared. Ethan noticed it first, a massive cruise liner drifting quietly across the horizon. The same ship. Lucas insisted they stay away, but Ethan, curious and stubborn, convinced them to get closer. As their boat approached the vessel, all 5 of them felt the same strange heaviness the officers felt earlier. They boarded anyway, and the moment they stepped onto the deck, the ocean behind them went still. Ethan took the lead. Jordan filmed everything. Ryan stayed close to Maya. Lucas kept whispering, "This place isn't empty. I can feel it." They split up, a mistake they shouldn't have made. Jordan disappeared first. One moment he was recording the hallway. The next, his camera clattered to the floor while he ran into the darkness screaming. Ryan's death was quieter. He followed a faint whisper calling his name, walked into the lower deck, and never walked back out. Maya found old photos inside the ship. Hundreds of families smiling, dancing, enjoying vacations. But in every photo, the background behind the people was empty. No ocean, no sky, just black fog. As she stared at the pictures, a hand rested gently on her shoulder. She turned around, but nobody was there. Her scream echoed once, then silence. Ethan and Lucas were the last two. They discovered the captain's log, a torn notebook that explained what little anyone ever knew. The ship didn't sink. It was taken. Something in the ocean wanted it, and everything on it, and now it wanted more. Lucas panicked and tried to escape. He ran back to the deck, but the railings were different. The way back to their boat was gone. The ocean had disappeared behind a thick wall of black mist. Ethan tried to pull him back, but Lucas slipped and vanished into the fog, like the sea swallowed him whole. Ethan was the only survivor. He wandered the ship for hours, or maybe days. He couldn't tell. Some rooms were normal, some rooms were twisted. Some rooms weren't rooms at all, just endless dark spaces. Eventually, he found a lifeboat. When he climbed in, the ropes snapped and dropped him straight into the ocean. The sea pushed him forward, pushed him away, like it wanted him to leave. He washed ashore the next morning, trembling, half-conscious, eyes empty. He told the authorities everything, but they didn't believe him, because when they sent search boats back to the coordinates he gave, the ship wasn't there, and it never appeared again. Ethan was the only one who lived long enough to tell the story, but even he whispers to himself at night that sometimes he still sees it in his dreams, the cruise ship, waiting, watching, and choosing its next passengers.